A place in the World Series and in the hearts of Twins fans everywhere. Those fans, by the way, are ready to cheer and congratulate the team soon as the players arrive in town. Alan Cox is waiting for that very event at the airport. Alan?
Pat, the plane has touched down as of about 3 or 4 minutes ago, but it touched down at one end of the airport, and it's taxiing over here to the Humphrey Charter Terminal at the northwest corner of Twin Cities International. The fans, of course, were asked not to come out here today. There are, though, about 20 to 25 fans behind the fence. Some of them arriving out here 3 or 4 hours early just to catch a glimpse, and that's about all it will be. The Twins will be disembarking from their charter TWA jet and walking a space of about perhaps 70 yards over to buses where they will be whisked right away to the Metrodome for the thousands of fans that are awaiting them down there. You know, it was just 8 days ago that we were standing out here, almost the very same spot, to watch the Twins as they returned home from the end of the regular season, finishing up in Kansas City. And if I would characterize the mood at that point, it was certainly celebration for winning the Western Division of the American League, but there was also a certain amount of uncertainty, if you will. Gary Gaetti telling the fans not to panic, other players saying we're going to work, and of course the situation there, they'd come off 5 straight losses on the road after they had clinched the divisional title. This time, though, it should be unlimited joy as the Twins returning much more quickly with the American League pennant than I think many people expected. Certainly the experts, the handicappers out in Las Vegas, and the various baseball writers around the country. The jet is pulling up. It should be here in a couple of minutes, and we'll be back to you in just a few moments, Pat and Don.
All right, we're anxious for that arrival. You know, when you think about 22 years and people waiting, it makes you think of Herb Carneal, who for 22 years has followed that baseball team.
Oh, yeah, that long and longer.
Yes. Well, after sharing the years of defeat, the fans and the players are tonight celebrating a season of victory, but a season not yet over. That's because starting Saturday, the Metrodome will play host to the final round, the World Series. Already thousands of fans are filling the stands. As you can see, they are not there for the game, though. They are at the ballpark to share in the joy of a season that has brought the American League pennant right here to Minnesota. Colleen Needles is in the midst of that celebration. She has a report for us. Colleen?
Pat, I'm glad it quieted down for just a moment because I wouldn't have been able to hear you. It is just wild here. The stands are almost full. The people are going nuts. I don't know what's going to happen when the Twins finally get here because they are going wild. They have seen some highlights of the series so far. They cheered every home run, every hit again. They've been doing the wave. They brought their Homer hankies. It is wild here. And if we go to well, we are going to the World Series. If we win the World Series, when we win the World Series, I don't know what's going to happen to top this because it is wild. We had a chance to talk to some of the fans as they were coming in, and here's what they had to say.
They're great!
They're the best!
Yeah! Yeah, they're forever!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Oh, I think it's terrific. I think everybody should be here. We're having fun!
At first I had a little doubts, but then they were doing really good, and I used to be a fan of the White Sox, but I just all for the Twins now.
They're the best in the world! They're going to take all 4 games! Yep. Right the right!
All right, well, these people are absolutely out of their minds. They're ready to have a good time. All we're waiting for now are the Twins. We've been waiting an awful long time. The team's coming home. These people are ready and waiting. We're going to send it back to you now, Pat and Don.
Hold on to your hat. It'll take about 15 minutes. The Twins have landed. As Alan Cox has said, he's standing by out at the Hubert H. Humphrey charter terminal. There's a shot of the plane, Alan. Have they opened the door yet even?
Don, they are just now making the final arrangements to pull up that. This is a 727, a much larger plane than we had at the pep rally 8 nights ago. Of course, so we've got the Twins players, the coaches, the team officials on board, and a large contingent of news reporters and photographers who are going to be getting off here in just a few minutes. The plane pulling up about 90 minutes later than originally expected, but I don't see a whole lot of people complaining. I mentioned to you there's a crowd about 100 yards away of onlookers, fans. As the plane pulled up, they were waving their Homer hankies in celebration, and they put up a bit of a cheer right now. The players here are being led very quickly over to the buses.
Herb Carneal standing right there, Alan, coming down.
Twins broadcasters. Cal Griffith is at the top of the stairs at this point. And I'm really amazed by the small crowd that's so far away over this jet roar. They're putting up quite a bit of applause.
Alan, do you know, is Carl Pohlad aboard tonight as well on the plane? And are the wives of the players returning home with them tonight?
My understanding is that that's correct in both instances, although we should know in a few moments. I'm told that coaches and team managers are allowed to sit in first class on these flights, and then the players themselves are assigned to seats back in economy or what have you.
I was happy to see Cal Griffith get off the plane as well.
That's right.
And
Andy McPhail.
He, as you know, was responsible for a lot of these, recruiting a lot of these young ball players.
You bet. He got it all started.
And I'm sure he especially tonight, has a special feeling about this.
You know he does.
I saw Jerry Bell, an official of the Twins hierarchy, get off. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen Carl Pohlad, so perhaps he's coming back under a separate cover, if you will.
Alan, are you close enough to grab some of the players as they get off, or are they protecting them from the media at this point?
I'm hoping we can get up a little closer to some of them here.
Here comes Roy Smalley.
Blowing the whistles, the wives are, as they get off, which they did all through the games in Detroit.
A couple of fair pitchers there, Bert Blyleven, Frank Viola.
They almost seem subdued at this point. I wonder if they have any idea what awaits them at the Metrodome
Tom
tonight.
Brunansky showing off his shirt there.
Homer Hankey.
Homer Hankey, yeah. And this is a shot of the Metrodome, and you may think we're running some kind of tape here of a past game. It is filled to that very Teflon roof with people tonight. That's a live shot of fans who are just awaiting the return of these people. The players and their wives.
They didn't have to buy a ticket either tonight.
No, came in free. Big party tonight.
Don, one of the folks who just got off is our own Mark Rosen. I'm going to ask Mark what the mood was on the plane on the way back.
Good idea.
That's pretty easy to answer, Alan. Absolute euphoria. I'm telling you, I don't know if there's ever been a flight quite like the one that was just returned from Detroit, Alan. Everyone obviously ecstatic to be back home. A lot of whistle blowing going on the plane with all the wives, which became a tradition starting with the first game at the Metrodome and into this afternoon, of course, with the big victory against the Tigers.
Greg Gagne, and is that his new baby that came down there? Lombardozzi. Dan Gladden, wraparound shades. And there's Jeff Reardon, the hero of 2 games, the GOAT in 1, but who remembers the 1?
Right.
And what difference does it make?
That's right. And there's a guy that wants to be there.
Sal Butera contributed a couple of big hits.
You bet he did.
There's Ken Herbeck.
Herbie, bring him over to the microphone.
Ken, you got one more step to go.
One more. We got this far. Might as well go the rest.
A lot of people waiting for you at the Dome.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to have some fun.
I have a feeling he's going to be leading the cheering tonight.
I think so, yeah.
Pat and Don,
He
back
has a
to
way
you.
of doing that. Looks like Carl
Only a leader
Pohlad.
coming up there. Now, this is something we have to explain first. Those of you who may have joined us just a little bit late, you have to know that there is one of the world's largest parties going on down at the Metrodome right now. Still time to get down there. Your invitation is wide open. You need absolutely no tickets. They can hold about 55,000 people. I think there are 4 or 5 seats left down there. Colleen Needles is standing by live on the floor of the Metrodome. Can you hear us?
Just barely, Don, and that's only because it's quieted down just for a second. Someone's trying to talk to the crowd. It has been absolute pandemonium here. They saw some live pictures of the team arriving at the airport, and you could not hear yourself think, what's going to happen when this team finally arrives here at the stadium? I don't know, but this is, you said there were about 4 or 5 seats left. I think you're right. There are probably, and they're going fast. I understand people are still coming in the door. These folks aren't going to leave until they can't get what they came for, and that's to say hello, welcome back to the Minnesota Twins. It is absolutely phenomenal to see this many people here waiting for a team to come back home. They have absolutely been out of their minds tonight. They've been doing the wave, they've been singing songs, they've been cheering, they've been waving the Homer Hanky. You'd think a game was going on down here on the field. Absolute pandemonium here. looking around, it took about an hour for the seats to fill up, but I think that was just because they were letting people in through just 3 gates, and it took them a while just to get in through the doors. Generally on a regular game, when this many people come in, they are coming in from different gates, and so they get in a little quicker, but they are in their seats, up and down, ready for the game, for the team to get back, and I guess it'll take them about 15-20 minutes to get here from the airport, and this crowd is ready and waiting for
Colleen,
them.
what has held their attention? Since there's no game there and very little planned, what is going on that has kept everyone sort of in their seats?
Well, they showed highlights of the series. They cheered every home run. They cheered those great catches. They've been reliving every moment of the series. They've also been listening to a marching band, and they're just entertaining themselves. They're having a good time.
All right, Colleen, we've got R.J. Fritz standing by. He's on the Twins Extras set. He's out in the bleachers where he parks himself and got the line score in behind him of the game today, 9-5 in the finish. Great game, Ralph, and it's a great pennant.
I've just been enjoying all this along with you, Don and Pat, and I don't think we even mentioned the score of today's game, but who really cares? It was 9-5. The Twins over Detroit. Yes, we will show you those highlights, how they did get there. All we have to know is that they did win 4 games. It did take them 5. And who said the Twins couldn't win on the road? That is 2 in a row on the road, and now the Twins have a new weapon heading for the World Series. They'll be known now as the Road Warriors, perhaps. Kirby Puckett's been struggling, but he's been coming around, too. Kirby's base hit in the 2nd inning gave the Twins a 4-0 lead off Tigers starter and loser Doyle Alexander. Greg Gagney's great defensive play kept the Tigers at bay. Watch the range here of Gagney on that play against Matt Noakes of Detroit. Beautiful play. Tom Brunansky with 3 RBIs today, 2 on a 2nd inning double, and the other on this solo home run in the 9th inning. Many felt Bruno could have been named series MVP, but NBC gave that honor to Gary Gaetti of the Twins. And we will have many, many more highlights coming up for you a bit later on, but that sort of whets your appetite as how the Twins did get there. We're going to be going back to the Dome. I didn't hear, did she say there has to be 45 to 50,000 people out there at the Dome. I think they could have filled the LA Coliseum, which seats over 100,000 had they wanted to tonight. I'm really glad in a way that the Twins didn't win the thing here at home now, because it gives their fans an extra chance to get out there and show their team just exactly how they feel about them.
And the first 2 games of the World Series.
That is absolutely right.
More time to scramble for those tickets. You know, I was listening to the radio the other day, Ralph, and WCCO was replaying the 1965 series when Minnesota. And what an interesting thing to hear. I mean, here it was 22 years ago, and you would have thought that the team was on the field today. That's the beauty of this game, really, though, isn't it?
Interesting you would point that out, Pat, because we have some old excerpts from that 1965 series, which we will be bringing your way in just a few minutes, so stick around for that.
All right,
also.
I'm anxious to see them.
Okay. Thanks very much, RJ. We'll be back to you later.
Just a few weeks ago, we witnessed an emotional scene in the locker room when the Twins won the division. You remember that. Well, you can imagine what it was like today when they won the pennant. Tom Hanneman reports from Detroit.
To try and describe the Twins' emotions today would be senseless. Their faces alone told the story, both on the field and in the locker room.
Can there be any doubters anymore?
I doubt it. You know, we played some outstanding baseball all 5 games. We came back in a situation where we could have hung it up, and we came back the last 2 games here in Tiger Stadium and won it. You can't beat it.
Well, it takes 24 guys to win, and everybody realizes that. You know, going in today's game, you know, the emotions are so high, and that's... Woo! Thanks, Kirby. And that's the type of ball club we've had. Everybody's together. We got one goal in mind. That's hopefully to win the World Series. It feels good.
Just to say it was an incredible effort isn't enough. This was, I don't know how to describe the drive that we had. It was incredible. I mean, that was the most determination by an entire team that I've ever seen.
The World Series, those are magic. I can't believe it. It's beyond my wildest dreams, my imagination. I can't believe it's happening. It happened to me.
I'll tell you what, it's all I thought it would be, and we haven't even got there yet. We're going back to Minnesota, so I can't wait till I get back to Minnesota. We'll be there in a little while.
I played wiffle ball in the backyard ever since I was 8, 9 years old, and you dream of being Harmon Killeby Rod Crew, and you dream of playing the World Series, hitting a home run someplace, and now it's the ultimate. It still hasn't sunk into me yet until we actually probably get over it with this. Now I have to sit back and say, hey, I was on the World Series, and we're
going to the World Series. I don't know what else to say. We're going to the World Series. It's and we beat a hell of a club, and we deserve to be going. And beating them here on the road where people said we couldn't win, I think makes it all the sweeter.
I know you'd like to have done this at home. What words do you have for the people of Minnesota who supported you? We're coming home for the World Series!
The Twins have provided us with some incredible memories this year. But with this team, you get the feeling the best is yet to come. With photographers Rick Olson and Dave Halpern, Tom Hanneman, WCCO Television Sports, Detroit.
Don't know who you love more on that team.
No, all the same. I mean, that is a team. You love one, you love them all.
Yeah.
The Twins ticket office told us tonight that as many as 10,000 faithful may be lined up at Dayton stores around the metropolitan area. Cindy Hilger is out at Dayton's Brookdale right now. Cindy, what does it look like out there? We see what it looks like out there.
John, if you're talking to me, I have no idea what you just said. As you can see, there probably are several thousand people out here at Brookdale that have come out here as early as it's about 2 this afternoon. It's really getting crazy. I thought what we should do is try to talk to a few of them. Let's move down here. We've got some people that brought out their lawn chairs and dressed pretty warmly. Why don't you tell us what time you got out here, if you can?
We got out here about 8 o'clock tonight. We brought our sleeping bags and chairs. They marked us down. I got my camo suit here, and we're prepared, you know. The Twins are going all the way, man.
Well, as you can see, I think these people are pretty happy. They're pretty optimistic they're going to get tickets now. What they've done, why don't you show us your hands here? They've gone down the row and they've numbered everybody. They got to about 662, and I think their pen ran out of ink. There are a lot more people here than 600 people. We estimate it's a couple thousand. And as you can see, everybody's pretty much dressed for the weather. Temperatures are supposed to drop into the 30s, but I don't think that's going to faze anybody out here. We're going to go back to you now, Don and Pat.
All right, Cindy, thank you.
Hands are cold, hearts are warm. All over the Twin
Who
Cities.
cares, right? Well, in case you weren't able to hear Cindy, let's repeat now how you can get tickets for the World Series games. Get your pencil ready. All Dayton stores in the Twin Cities, plus Rochester, will be handling the ticket sales. No tickets will be sold at the Metrodome as during the other series. The prices are $20 and $30, sold in 2-game strips. That means you must buy tickets for both games 1 and 2. And there is a limit of 4 strips per customer. The Dayton stores open tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. They'll probably be all sold out by then, however. They will take no phone orders, so if you are interested, maybe you should line up there tonight, or at least find a friend who will do it for you.
Yeah. Speaking of the closeness of that team that you pointed out, a scene in Tom Hanneman's report from the locker room there shows it better than anything. You see that huge bull that Gaetti was drinking out of, then passed it to Brunansky. That's the cup that NBC awards for the most valuable player. Gaetti, when he accepted the award, said that he had 25 people he was going to share it with.
Belong to all of them.
That's right.
Yes.
We have more on the Twins coverage tonight, of course, here on the 10 p.m. report. We'll also have a special tonight at 10:35, all for good reason. The Twins are the American League champions.
Mom and Dad built this house 40
over there for the Twins bus to arrive, and he's standing by now to give us a report. Do you see anything, Mike?
So far, no, Pat. Lots of fans outside, though. They're working off their energy, waiting for the bus to pull down this ramp here and deliver their baseball heroes to that massive crowd of 50+ thousand inside the Metrodome. People are shouting out here. They're screaming. I think they're just too excited to go in and sit down. So they've lined themselves up along the outside of the dome here, hoping to get a shot and a look at the bus as it pulls down the ramp here. Everywhere we've gone this afternoon and evening, it's been an atmosphere of delirium and supercharged emotion, and we've seen it also here outside the dome, people whistling, people waving their Homer hankies, singing Win Twins, leaning out their cars and shouting, and they're just waiting now for the heroes, the stars, the Twins to arrive. Don and Pat?
It shouldn't be that much longer, Mike. It's really not that long a drive from the...
No, I expect it'll be in a few minutes now.
All right, well, we'll be back to you as soon as they get there.
Right.
Anxious to see that celebration. Yeah. All right, thanks, Mike. Well, you remember what the Detroit newspapers were saying about us when the playoffs started.
Well, here's just a reminder if you don't. The front page headlines on the Detroit Free Press talked about how Minnesota made a habit of finishing second in sports and in politics.
So following today's win in Detroit, what did Tiger fans have to say for themselves? Darryl Savage was there when the game ended.
Tiger fans said the Twins didn't even deserve to be here. Tiger fans said the Twins will be lucky to win 2 games in this series. Tiger fans will be watching the Twins in the World Series.
Well, I thought Detroit was a better team. I didn't like it when all the Tiger fans said the Tigers are going to win it in 5 because, hey, playoffs start, it's a new season, man.
Minnesota fans were louder than Detroit's even before they had anything to cheer for. Now they can cheer for 22 years of lost time.
Once they won American League West, I said the Twins in 5, and they did it. Now they're going to go on. Series is theirs.
I've been rooting for the Twins for an awful long time. They never seem to make it. This year they just seemed to come through, and they kept winning.
2 days ago, people in this city said the Twins couldn't win on the road. Tonight, those same people packed up their Detroit T-shirts and hit the road themselves for the last time this season.
Well, I think the Twins did a real good job, and I wish them the best, really. I think they played very well, they pitched well, they hit well. They just beat us.
At long last, the Twins have some respect.
I wish Kirby Puckett played for us.
The Twins will now represent the Tigers and the rest of the American League in the World Series. And that's ironic, because less than a week ago, a sports writer in this town called Minnesota and its team a bunch of losers. With photographer Bill Kruzkop, Daryl Savage, WCCO Television News, Detroit.
They can't have Kirby Puckett, though.
No, they can't. We're going to keep him. Now, who of us here is not, after all, a Twins fan? We all are, of course. But Dave Moore is Channel 4's official designated fan. Here he is with some observations on the playoffs.
From now until the World Series, everyone will be offering observations on what has just happened, if indeed it has happened at all. But the following are the official observations, accept no others. Most valuable player in the series, Gary Gaetti for that first home run in the Dome and for his general all-around inspirational play. Bruno, the series leading hitter, and for putting today's game on ice. Or Jeff Reardon, the inevitable. Nope, none of those. Which player could possibly have contributed more than any other? No, sir, the most valuable Twin is Andy MacPhail, the young man who brought these guys together, despite we skeptics of the media, and whose only claim to fame until now was that his grandfather once tried to kidnap the Kaiser in World War I. Tom Kelly is manager of the century, working his charges with aplomb, refusing to abuse their reverence of him, insisting on anonymity while quietly playing his hunches. Kelly is almost remindful of baseball's all-time imperturbable manager, Stan Hack of the Cubs, whose motto was, "Okay, men, 2 cases of beer if you win, 1 anyway." But perhaps the most satisfying reward of this past week of chaos and hope has been the total absence of other news. There has been no other news. Nothing else has happened. How do you like living in a newsless society? Somebody told me we got into it with Iran about something, and some senators refused to approve a judge for the Supreme Court. Rudy changed his official name to Rudolph G. Perpich, which relieved a lot of tension around here. But all those events happened when the Twins had no one in scoring position. But now we must all prepare ourselves for the end of such bliss. After the Twins have swept the Cards or Giants, we will return our attention to the Vikings, whoever they are.
I'm not going to be able to turn my attention, I don't think.
I'm not sure that they can win us back. Well, something has to be done after
We've become die-hard fans here, and what a thrill.
What will we do after the World Series, after we win that,
That's
though?
what I'm saying.
Then we'll watch the Vikings, perhaps. You know, I think maybe we can add to Dave's observations, perhaps not more than Andy MacPhail, but equal to Andy MacPhail's contribution. How about the Minnesota Twin fans that had just scared everybody to death, including Sparky Anderson, who may be the second most imperturbable manager in history. We're going to get to some of the other events of the day next, along with a forecast for a 70-degree day tomorrow. As Pat Kessler reports, the students of Bridgeview School were so enthusiastic, they decided to enjoy the action from the midst of their very own ballpark.
They played a ball game in Detroit today, and for a group of kids in St. Paul, it was the biggest game of the year. The kids at Bridgeview School are profoundly handicapped. They've been following the Twins all year.
I like Kirby.
Do you think they're going to win?
Yes.
Who's your favorite?
Kirby Puckett.
Kirby Puckett's your favorite. Do you think the Twins are going to win?
Yep.
These kids know about winning and losing. They play the game every day. And their fight is even tougher than beating the mighty Detroit Tigers. The Bridgeview staff tried to make it like a game at the Metrodome, and they did. Was it a sellout here today?
I think so. I think so. Standing room only. Standing room.
They played a game in Detroit today, and it's just possible the biggest fans were in a schoolroom on the Mississippi. Pat Kessler, WCCO Television News.
We're going out now to, a dome full of people who are behaving like kids, but we're standing outside. Mike, do you see the team yet?
I see the team.
Don, we've seen a number of police cars coming in, and the team buses right behind heading into the Metrodome here for this greeting by their 50,000-plus fans. There are still several hundred fans that have not gone into the Metrodome. They've chosen to stay outside. You can hear them in the background. They're shouting, they're blowing whistles, they're honking car horns, and Minneapolis police escorting 2 team buses, 3 buses in here. I'm told the buses will be heading down the ramp right down to a waiting area. From there, the players will head onto the field and no doubt will be in for quite a surprise. One member of our crew talked to a member of the Viola family, and he was told that the players don't really know what they're in for here at the Dome. They're expecting maybe a few thousand fans, but certainly not 50,000 plus screaming, delirious, supercharged fans, and that's what these players are going to see in just a very few moments. Here's the first bus heading down the ramp now. You can see some of the wives there. The buses are getting in on honking horns as well. There were a number of the players and wives on that first bus heading down into a waiting area from which they'll go right on to the field of the Metrodome.
Mike, these fans have really worked themselves into a frenzy.
Oh, they have, Pat. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it here. The most exciting day I think I've ever spent working the street as a reporter in this town. And people still, on this rather chilly evening now, are absolutely delirious. It's pandemonium out here, and some of the people are getting off the bus now and are going to be walking down the ramp, apparently, to go inside.
It makes you wonder what it's going to be like at that first game during the World Series on Saturday night.
It's going to be, I can't imagine the kind of scene it's going to be. It'll be incredible.
Mike Sparky Anderson said today after the game that he feels sorry.
Yes.
He said he feels sorry for any National League team that has to come into this dome and play against the Twins.
All right, we're watching some of the players heading down. There's Bert Blyleven heading down. I'm at a spot I don't know that I can get to them. Perhaps I'll try to get a little bit closer if I can. Let me wander down here away.
It looks as if you're kind of in the tunnel there. It's so dark. Now we see the players.
Mike, nice jump.
Yeah, it was indeed, wasn't it? I'll see if I can grab one of the players here as they go by.
Well,
stick with me if you would,
Well,
Bob.
don't hurt yourself.
Oh, I won't.
Okay.
Good job, Mike.
Hi. What kind of a greeting you expecting here, Greg? What do you think of this greeting?
Great.
All right, good luck in the series. There's Mark Rosen heading by, and other members of the Twins as well. Greg Gagne, his wife, his new baby, heading down. Kent Herbig. Kent, what do you think here?
Wonderful. Wonderful. Love it.
All right, good luck. There's the big guy heading in. He's charged up indeed.
I have a feeling Kent Herbig's going to be giving a speech tonight to that crowd. He's generally known for leading the cheering there.
He may be giving a speech into the morning.
We're not sure.
Absolutely. He loves the crowd, and I think he's just going to enjoy it to the max. Harmon Killebrew heading in also, and other members of the media. And that pretty much wraps up the scene out here. The players are about to go inside to the dome and be greeted by the 50,000 plus fans. You can hear in the background the fans here cheering
Mike,
their heroes who've won the American League.
if you get a chance to talk to Harmon Killebrew, ask him if they got that kind of greeting back in 1965.
Good question. I'll do that.
Ask him if any reporters ever jumped off the third story of the dome in order to ask the question.
Oh, it was a short jump, Don. Don't worry, I can handle it.
Good job. Nice leap. Here comes Kirby Puckett. Mike, we're looking at another shot. This one's down inside the tunnel.
Oh,
Kirby
okay.
is stepping off.
Yeah, I don't have a monitor here. You'll have to pick up.
Right. And they do not know what awaits them.
Good, man. Went to the World Series, man.
He's going to need his sunglasses when he gets inside
That's
that
right.
dome.
I imagine there are a few cameras with flash bulbs inside waiting to take pictures too. They've got the door closed because I imagine, there's Tony Oliva there waiting as well. I imagine that they are trying to get all of the twins and their wives assembled in one place before they roll up that big garage door there. That garage door opens on to the right field line.
Well, as you can see, it is very well organized.
This is what it looks like backstage, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the back of our heads look like, too, from time to time.
We're bringing it home.
All right. That's Bruno, Tom Brunansky. Many people thought he would be named the MVP of the series, and still some sports writers and managers can vote on what happened at the American League
Well, I'm
Championship
going to be
Series.
anxious to see what the press reports are tomorrow following today's game, and really the Twins almost sweeping this series in 5 games. It'll be interesting to see some of the cynics, and now if they are believers. Now you're seeing the gate open.
All right, the gate opens.
We'll just let you enjoy the moment here and take a look
let's
at
see
what's
this.
happening.
These are shots live from the floor of the Metrodome. There's Frank Viola.
Can you imagine what they must be feeling at this point?
He ends up with one of the lowest ERAs in all of the American League. One of the great, great pitchers.
Look at Kirby, even took off his sunglasses.
He's out. Colleen Needles is standing by in the midst of the din on the floor of the Metrodome as all of this is happening. Colleen, describe it for us. The din is so great, in fact, I don't believe Colleen Needles can even hear our voice. Our voices.
The scene here is absolute pandemonium. You cannot even hear yourself think here. The crowd is going absolutely wild. I have never, ever seen anything like this. I don't think this team expected what it is getting now, the kind of welcome that they're getting. Another stranger just walked in, Mark Rosen, fresh off the bus and the plane from Detroit. Can you believe this?
Colleen, on the plane, people were saying, well, maybe 10, 15,000 people would be here. And the players were thinking, hey, that'd be a pretty nice turnout. No one, believe me, no one on this team had any idea what was in store for them. They were so excited to be home, and I'm telling you, an amazing turnout by the fans here tonight.
Mark, I have to tell you, these people have been here for an hour and a half. They have been this loud, this crazy for all that time. What you're seeing on the field.
Well, you know, you really don't get a sense of what was happening back here in the Twin Cities. If we look at their Sal Butera, the catcher, who had a chance to play in this couple games, got 2 big base hits for the Twins yesterday. Frank Viola, I can only imagine what a 6-month-old kid is thinking right now. And Frankie's going to have to play tapes for his family when this comes back. That's Kathy Viola holding their oldest son. Frank, of course, very instrumental in the success of the Twins all season. And in all likelihood will get the start in the first game of the World Series this Saturday night right here at the Dome. Bert Blyleven and his wife, Patty. Blyleven, of course, was with the Minnesota Twins as a rookie back in 1969 and 1970. 1970, the last time Kirby Puckett, who said, I'll tell you what, talk about a rags to riches story. It's happened to me, and nothing is better than being back home. I'll tell you, Colleen, probably the most interesting thing about the trip home, when these guys got their American League Championship T-shirts, all of us remember when we first got our T-shirt, and maybe we were 10 years old, we made the Little League team and how excited we were. You should have seen these guys handing out these T-shirts and putting them on for the first time. Believe me, no matter what you hear about professional sports, this is a little boy's game, and it proved it on that airplane on the way home. And all you gotta do is listen to this crowd.
You know, a lot of people were disappointed in a way that they couldn't see the team win the championship, but I think everybody now is getting the chance to cheer them on. It's got to be great for the team and the fans.
Well, remember one thing, there's still 4 big wins to go, and no one is satisfied with just winning the American League Championship. No one was satisfied with winning the Western Division Championship. They know they got 4 wins to go, and I think it's about time, since they clinched the West on the road and clinched the American League Championship on the road, you may as well clinch the World Series right here at home. It'd be perfect.
Mark, isn't it nice, though, in a way that they did win on the road when they had so much press about not being able to play except at the Metrodome?
Pat, I'm going to have to tell you, I just can't hear a thing, as you might imagine here. Maybe a little bit later we'll be able to hear it. The program is just starting here at the Dome, and at the moment, Pat, I just can't hear you.
What we're going to do, Mark, is try to describe some things that we're seeing here. One of the things we saw out there as they begin the announcements in the process, Gary Gaetti in tears as he hugs Joe Niekro, Herb Carneal, the voice of the Twins for so many years, Jerry Bell standing behind him, president of the Twins, Herb doing the honors now. Let's see if we can hear what Herb is saying.
St. Louis or San Francisco in the World Series. But I'll tell you, wait a minute, I'll tell you, if anybody thinks that the St. Louis club is going to beat the Minnesota Twins, they're making a cardinal sin. And if anybody thinks San Francisco is going to beat the Twins, they're making a giant mistake. Let's have a hand for the owner of the Minnesota Twins, Carl Poland, right here. Twins president Jerry Bell. Where's Jerry? Welcome, Jerry.
Thank you, Herb. I just can't believe this, and I just cannot thank these fans enough. Obviously, and certainly everybody here knows, we couldn't have done this without the fans. No question about it. We're the best fans in town.
Thank you, Jerry. Well, as you folks know, if you followed us over the season, the Twins, we've had some rough spots, and there are times when we've had some doubting Thomases. People are ready to write them off. But I'll tell you, this team has risen to the occasion. They've done the job when they've had to do it, haven't they? against Minnesota Twins. They didn't know anything about playoffs. Couldn't win on the road, could they? Well, I tell you, we have a gentleman who I think has done a great job as far as keeping things on an even keel when the boat was rocking a little bit. Our skipper, Tommy Kelly.
Hi, Herb. What's happening? How do these things happen?
Somebody got the schedule mixed up. We should have played here today.
Guys, I speak on behalf of all the guys. This is unbelievable turnout. This is magnificent for the Upper Midwest, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Oh, yeah. I wish we had room on our World Series roster for another person, and I think I would try to include all the people here today on our 24-man roster, but we just can't do that. But great.
How long is it going to take to beat the National League?
Well, we're going to do the best we can. Herb, you're putting me in a bad spot there.
We'll do it in 6. How about that? 6 games. Thank you, Tommy. Now, folks, we want you to meet the members of this ball club. And I think I'm especially happy for our coaching staff because they're somewhat the unsung heroes. The ball players, of course, don't think so, but I know from the news media standpoint, you don't hear a lot about our coaching, but I think that these guys are the hardest working people on the ball club. First of all, right here is our pitching coach and Mr. and Mrs. Dick Such. One of the greatest all-time Twins, hitting coach Tony Oliva. And our catching and bullpen coach, Rick Stelmasic. First base coach, Wayne Terwilliger. And another former Twin and one of the best third base coaches in the major leagues, Rick Rennick. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we know you want to meet the members of our playing roster, the champion Twins. And for the introductions of our players, it's my pleasure to introduce you to my broadcasting partners all year long, John Gordon, John Mooney, and Hall of Famer Harmon Killebrew. John Rooney, right here.
All right, thank you, Herb. I got a message for the fans of Minnesota standing around the batting cage and talking with the Tigers. They couldn't wait to get out of the Metrodome because of all the noise. Way to go, Minnesota fans! Way to go! the American League champion, Minnesota Twins. First off, relief pitcher, number 22, Keith Atherton. A guy who's always been a winner everywhere he's been, coming to the Twins before September 1st, number 18, Don Baylor. A fellow they call Senor Smoke El Gasolino, number 40, Juan Berenguer. Juan Berenguer. A year ago, this man promised a World Series to Minnesota fans. The winning pitcher today, number 28, Bert Blyleven. What a playoff series for Bruno, number 24, Tom Brunetsky. This guy was the best pinch hitter in the American League last year, and as an everyday player, an outfielder, a designated hitter, helped the Twins on their way, number 25, Randy Bush. Here's one of the hardest workers on the ball club, a guy who came back for his second time around, number 33, catcher Sal Butera. Now, if you talk to this fella, he'll tell you that he's worked all his life to get right here tonight. They call him Country. Number 27, Mark Davidson. Now, if you will, welcome relief pitcher, number 21, George Frazier.
Hey, Twins fans! Way back! Touch 'em all, Twins fans! All right! MVP, Gary Gaetti! The slickest fielding shortstop in the major leagues, Greg Gagne! Mr. Glad Wrench, Dan Gladden! catcher, Tim Lautner. Twins second baseman, Lombo, Steve Lombardozzi. Hey, Twins fans, our favorite little guy, Al Newman. Come on out here, Nuxie, Joe Negro. Twins catcher, Tommy Nieto. Ladies and gentlemen, our own Hall of Famer, Herman Killebrew.
You people are unbelievable. Thank you so much. I thought 1965 was great, but this is the ultimate. You are so wonderful. Thank you. Let me introduce some players to you. Chris Patero. Chris. Kirby Puckett. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Reardon. Dan Schatzetter. Roy Smalley. Roy Smith. The tall man, Mike Smithson. Les Straker. And the big left-hander, Frank Viola.
Frank Harmon. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the gentlemen who had such a key role in the Twins' success this year because he helped to engineer the trades that brought people like Jeff Reardon, Dan Gladden, Al Newman, Don Baylor over to the Minnesota Ball Club. The executive vice president of our Minnesota Twins, Andy McPhail. Andy?
Thank you. There's been a lot of speculation. There's been a lot of speculation in baseball as to why the Minnesota Twins enjoyed the best home record of all the major leagues. And I think the nation as a whole watching NBC got a good idea why it is. There are 2,081,000 reasons, and we thank you.
Another thing, we need to introduce the people behind the Minnesota Twins, the Twins' wives. How about a hand for them, huh? And right now, the Twins want to say thank you by making a tour of the Metrodome. The American League champion Minnesota Twins.
I'll tell you what, I grew up in the Twin Cities and experienced all the highs and lows of Minnesota Twins, and absolutely nothing to top what happened here tonight. And I'm sure the players, without a doubt, appreciate it to the bottom of their hearts. I can recall not too long ago when they used to have 2,000 to 3,000 people here to watch a Twins game at the end of the year. Oh, you got 50,000 people in here, and they didn't even play a game here. And to answer all the critics, yes, indeed, the Twins did return to the Metrodome, but the Tigers stayed in Detroit.
Hooray! You know, kind of the unsung heroes of all of this have been the wives and the family behind the players. In Detroit, they were really representing us so well with the whistles and the Homer hankies. We really owe them a big thanks, too, don't we?
Colleen, I know you spent the night at Debbie Gaetti's house the night the Twins clinched the Western Division. It took a lot of guts, to say the least, to see what the Twins' wives pulled off at Tiger Stadium, which is not a friendly place to play, to say nothing of the behavior of the fans. And to sit in the stands and to take the verbal abuse they took for a couple of nights, and not only take it, but dish it right back, was quite a statement of their loyalty and their gumption and the way they feel not only about the Twins, but the way the fans have treated them back here in Minnesota.
You know, the wives are left behind much of the season. When the players go on the road, most of the wives stay home because they have families to take care of. How great it is they can share in this tonight here with the Twins.
Absolutely, and you talk to the ball players, and they know how valuable, you know, their wives are for so many reasons. And, you know, not to start being philosophical here, but it really does mean a lot to have them share in this time. And I'll tell you what, they are as much a part of this club as the players themselves.
No, you have to wonder, what are they going to do to top this? When we win the World Series, what are they going to do?
They're going to have to build a new stadium that holds more people than this in the next week and a half. That's what they're going to have to do, Colleen. That's the only solution I can see.
They're going to have to sell tickets to next pep rally that they hold, given the turnout here tonight.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to see if I can go grab a player and get him over here, because I know right now they got to be thinking they're on top of the world. I'll be right back.
Well, the Minnesota fans continue their celebration here. They are absolutely going crazy. The team has made the rounds around the stadium. I think they are as much in shock, certainly, as we are. We did not expect this when we came down here tonight. The number of people that have turned out, I know the party planners didn't expect it. They were hoping to fill probably part of the lower tier here, but instead they have filled every seat here in the stadium. These folks don't want to go home. They are bound and determined to keep their team here and to keep cheering them on through the night.
The great thing about baseball, the tradition, and the way you can look back, and the way you hold things, all you have to do is look back 1 year to what Bert Blyleven had to say on Fan Appreciation Day just 1 year ago. Let's look back 1 year.
Okay, I'm with Ken Herbeck. Ken, you grew up not too far from Met Stadium. You say you used to watch the ball games out of your bedroom window. You got one more dream left, but what is going through your mind right now?
Unbelievable. I mean, I bawled my eyes out before I got in the field and got to see my mom when we came back home. And to me, I ain't never going to experience nothing like this. I've been a couple places now where we clinched. We clinched in Texas, and then we clinched in Detroit, and there ain't nothing like it.
You know, I know it certainly was a sense of tribulation and then some on the players' behalf today in Detroit, but I don't imagine it hits home until you do get home here.
Everybody waited to get home. We figured we had about 15,000 people here, and we got 60-some with another couple thousand outside. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, thanks so much for stopping by. I know you want to enjoy the rest of the night with your teammates and family.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Thanks, folks.
All right, Ken Herbeck. His story has been well told, of course, by now. Growing up in Bloomington, Minnesota, watching the Twins as a little youngster, and now experiencing it. And he said his dream all along has been to ride in a parade after the Twins win the World Series. A lot of people doubted that, but boy, he's awfully close right now. How about 4 wins away? And of course, the Twins will start here against either San Francisco and St. Louis or St. Louis on Saturday night.
Wiesner somewhere around here. Jim Wiesner. Our head trainer, Dick Martin. His assistant, Brad. Brad, where are you at? There he is. And I'll tell you what. The best traveling secretary in baseball, Laurel Preeb. You know, last year on Fan Appreciation Day, I did feel that this organization had something to offer. And I really feel that with the 24 guys, we had a goal out of spring training.
We're going to interrupt Bert Blyleven as he reflects on last year's Fan Appreciation Day and talks about what the Twins were looking forward to at this point last year. We're going to go outside to Mike Walsher, who is outside the Metrodome. While all of that is going on inside. Mike, what's happening out there? Mike, we're having difficulty hearing you, and I think that's because that person with a white hat stepped on your microphone cable. That's the way it is.
This is hazardous.
That's the way it is. I think that's what Walter
Mike
Cronkite was talking
Walsher does
about.
deserve hazardous pay tonight.
Did you see
I'm telling
him?
you, he jumps off of about a 3-story
That's right.
building, lands on the hood of my car.
Was that your car? Dead in
No,
the
but
hood.
it looked like it.
We're just glad he's safe and he didn't break anything.
We're going to be back with Mike Walsher, of course. He has done a whale of a job, but just to give you an impression, using Mike Walsher as the touchstone here, Mike has covered most of the difficult assignments for WCCO TV in the last 10 years or so. But he said tonight was the most fantastic night on the streets of Minneapolis to St. Paul he has ever experienced. The action, the anticipation, the energy out there on the street. Can you believe that? Because he's been through some tough stuff.
Let's have a party and invite 60,000 people, right?
We have been enjoying all of this with you at home right here in the bleachers, Don, Pat, myself. And in just a moment, We will be back, and we'll take a look, a detailed look at how the Twins took Detroit in that pennant race. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We have all the wives here. Would they all take a bow? All of them.
Celebrating, of course, the Twins' big victory at the Metrodome. There are probably over 50,000 people. That's where Colleen Needles is standing by right now with a report for us. Colleen?
Pat, I'm standing here with Kathy Bush.
Out in Minnesota today. The players taking the buses here never realized these many fans would come out. Never.
You know, we watched you. We were cheering with you in Detroit with your whistles and your Homer hankies. That had to take a lot of guts in an away-from-home stadium, particularly in Detroit, with all the things they've been saying about us. What was it like there, Jill?
I tell you, it was awful hard to sit in the stands. My stomach was so much in knots. I had to get up last night from the beginning of the game and walk around the whole game. I wish we were in the Dome. It's so hard to sit there amongst those Detroit fans, but we gave it our all, and we cheered, and we were louder than the Detroit fans.
You know, we were talking about this earlier. You don't see your husbands a lot during the seasons. They're on the road, but this has got to make it all worthwhile, doesn't it, a night like tonight?
Yes, this has been our husband's dream come true since they have been children and boys playing Little League ball, and they are just thrilled.
It's fantastic. I just can't believe the fans that have come out here, and we were just flying in and coming to the Dome. People are standing out on the curb, out in their car. It's just, I couldn't believe it. It's great. What a feeling.
It is a tremendous feeling for us, too. We thank you for spending the time with us. Yay, Twins. And now we're going to go to Mike Walsh here. Mike, can you hear me?
Right you are, Colleen. I think we have a little bit saner crowd momentarily here. I'm not getting jostled up against the railing outside the Metrodome. All right, what do you think about the World Series?
Hey, the Twins are number one. The Twins are great. Let's go Twinkies! Twinkies are hot! Twinkies are hot!
Well, so much for intelligible conversation with the fans. Back to you, Don and Pat.
Okay, Mike. Good job. He does deserve hazardous duty. Mark Rose is standing down there with Randy Bush, one of the great hitters in this series.
Why don't you tell everyone what you just told me?
I said, I think I'm going to take my World Series money and go out and buy a house up here tomorrow. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I can't believe these fans. They're just outstanding.
Everyone on the plane on the way home was saying, oh, maybe 15,000 people will show up here. It first hit you when you opened the door here, leading into the Metrodome here?
I can't believe it. I asked Don Baylor and some of the guys who've been around, and they said this is just the greatest reception they've ever seen, and they know a lot more about it than I do. I'm overwhelmed.
Randy, I'm sure it feels absolutely just euphoric to be able to contribute the way you did, and what a team effort all the way through, so many ways for the Minnesota Twins during this series.
Well, they always say it takes everybody on the team to contribute, and I think we proved that this year, and as long as we don't have to play any more meaningless games, we'll be all right, because we just can't get it up for those meaningless games, I'll tell you.
We got a few days to rest. I'm sure it won't be any trouble getting up for Saturday night.
Oh, when these people get out here, 55,000, and they start screaming, we'll be sky high again. I don't think they got a chance coming in here, I'll tell you.
All right, Randy, thanks much for stopping by. Randy Bush of the Minnesota Twins. Back to the studio, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you, and thanks to Randy Bush.
Randy Bush has come of age, I think. And you know, he said it so well there. And so many professional athletes who do come to play in Minnesota end up staying here. I mean,
yes.
Kirby Puckett, Chicago, lives here. Tom Bernansky, California, lives here.
Yeah.
You can go right down the list, right down the line.
And a couple of guys who could have left but stayed.
Right,
Laudner,
Herbeck and Laudner,
yes.
You're absolutely right. You know, it's amazing when you see the Twins like they were doing it. It reminds you of soccer. I've always been impressed by the soccer players when they salute their fans. These people are so appreciative. It's unbelievable, and they should be, really.
Give me an idea of why all of a sudden. Now, we've said such great things about the Minnesota Twins fans, but historically the Twins haven't drawn well, and it's just been of late that they have. So what has happened all of a sudden? Not the obvious, of course, that they've been winning, but what's going on here?
Well, I think that's the main part, the fact that they are winning. But this team has just gelled. They've come of age, and I think people look at that team and they see how much they like each other.
Yes, how much fun they're having.
Right. They're just having so much fun. Let's go back to Mark Rosen.
RJ, I'm with Tom and Colleen Bernansky. You know, these fans just don't want to go home.
I don't want to go home either. This is great. What a fascinating, this is unbelievable welcome we've had. We didn't know what to expect. We heard a couple reports from the captain of the Jet, but
we didn't know what to expect, but this is just beyond our expectations.
Tom, I know you grew up in California, played with the Angels, came here sort of an adopted son now, the Minnesota Twins, and then some. I mean, if this doesn't make everyone in this club feel at home, I don't know if anything, what will.
There's nothing that can except for bringing home a World Series championship.
Colleen, what are your thoughts about all this?
It's great. We love it. We're going to keep our whistles going strong, so listen for us.
You guys, I mean, I got to get a testimony here. I don't know, Colleen Needles was talking with 3 of the wives earlier. What was it like sitting in the stands at Tiger Stadium? If you can repeat some of the things.
It wasn't as bad as it could have been, so we just kept blowing those whistles.
You guys were aware of it all the time?
Oh, we heard it. We heard it. We heard a lot of it. As soon as they started to blow the whistles, the boos came out at Tiger Stadium, which was great because they attracted more attention to the wives than they did to the ball team, and that was a big key.
A few base hits had a lot to do with shutting up a lot of people there today, too. It was like a morgue there today.
A few base hits, good pitching, and a great quality win.
All right, guys, thanks so much for stopping by. Tom and Colleen Bernansky.
Thank you for everything, fans. You guys have been beautiful. We love you.
All right, Tom and Colleen Bernansky.
Thank you very much, Mark. You know, there goes a guy who very well could be, not that one, but the one he just talked to. Brunansky could very easily be an MVP among sports writers and the coaches and managers who will vote later on this week.
No doubt about it. You know, speaking of the writers, too, Ralph, when you were talking about the fans here, I think the national press had an opportunity during this playoff series to see the fans, to see the Twin Cities, and really, I think a lot of them didn't know what we were all about until this has happened.
They do now, and I think they're going to find out a whole lot more in the next week or two here with the World Series coming up. I'm hearing something in my ear. Did they say we're going to Colleen Needles?
Colleen Needles is standing by with a guy who wins Rookie of the Year for team ownership.
They're calling you Rookie of the Year. How does it feel tonight? You were in Detroit to come in and see this place packed to the gills.
I want to tell you, there's been nothing like this in any event that I've heard of. I've been to Rose Bowls, Super Bowls. I've been to everything else in sports and other things. And I don't think there's been anything to match the type of crowd we hear to demonstrate their loyalty and the support of an event.
This is really an impromptu gathering. I mean, up until about 5 o'clock today, we didn't know for sure whether we were going to hold the rally tonight or hold it Wednesday night.
Or whether we'd have a rally at all, because after all, using that old worn-out cliche, it isn't over until it's over. So when the 9th inning comes around and they got 2 men on base, believe me, my heart was fluttering.
When you took over this team, did you ever dream you would be going to the World Series?
Certainly, that's right. You always dream to do your best. You want to be a winner. You want to be the best there is in the business. Maybe you can't achieve it, but as long as you're doing your best, why, that's the best you can do. We were lucky enough to have a great organization of players. We have a front office organization. But more than that, behind those players, a group of great women. I happened to spend 3 or 4 days with them, and they're really a great group of girls. And boy, they cheered those guys on.
They sure did. It wasn't an easy place to be cheering them on in Detroit either. We thank you for your time. Congratulations.
You know about the famous...
we do. Thank you, Mr. Polat. Well, all these fans are going to have another chance to cheer Saturday night. I know that a lot of these people have probably left here to go stand in line. They're going to have to be there a long time, because if this many fans turn there aren't going to be enough tickets for any of the 4 games to satisfy them. Back to you, Pat and Don and Ralph.
All right, Colleen, thank you very much. And Twins owner Carl Polat is celebrating with a victory meal tonight.
What do you think he's eating?
Well, I don't know, but Detroit Tiger owner Tom Monahan, owner of Domino's Pizza, is right now having a Domino's Pizza covered with crow.
Oh, crow pizza.
We will be back with more of the Twins special coming up for you, so don't go away. We'll return in just a moment.
That's crow pie, Ralph.
Crow pie.
We're gonna win. Twins, what's that baseball score? Knock out a home run, shout a hip hooray.
And on to the World Series. It took a lot of fan support, a lot of hitting, a lot of great defense, a lot of heart, and maybe just a little bit of luck. Here's what happened.
It was a game the Twins had to win. Game 1 in the Metrodome. Home sweet dome with Frankie Sweet Music Viola on the mound against Doyle Alexander. Viola got the offensive help he needed early from Gary Gaetti.
And here's a long, high drive. Dead center. Lemon back. It's gone. He's going for number 2. It's way back. It's out of here.
The Twins saw a lead disintegrate when the Tigers rallied to go ahead 5-4 in the 8th inning. The Homer Hankies came out, and Don Baylor came through.
That's a hit. One run is home. They'll stop Herbeck at third. And here's a shot that'll add more runs.
Tom Brunansky cushioned it with a double, and Jeff Reardon closed it in a flurry. The Twins held a one-game lead with a crucial 8-5 win in Game 1. Game 2 was maybe more important than Game 1. Important because they couldn't afford to go to Detroit for 3 games with just 1 win. Tom Kelly gave the game ball to Bert Blyleven. He'd be opposed by a familiar face in Twins country, Jack Morris. Morris had never lost to the Twins in Minnesota, but then again, he had never pitched in front of 53,000 pennant-hungry Twins faithful, having the Homer Hanky. Chet Lemon put the Twins in a hole with a 2-run shot in the 2nd inning. But chemistry and confidence were parts of a Twins team that seemed destined. A team filled with unlikely heroes. Heroes like Tim Loudner.
And a drive down the left field line in there.
Dan Gladden delivered a 2-strike, 2-out single in the 4th, and the Twins were on a roll. When people remember the 1987 playoffs, no doubt this play will stand out. It seemed to give additional credibility to the Cinderella Twins. Gary Gaetti and Kent Herbeck awakened the nation to one of the top corner combinations in the league. Juan Berenguer finished it in animated form, and you better believe the nation took note. Onward to Detroit for 3 games, and Game 3 was a classic. The Tigers jumped to a 5-0 lead off Les Straker on his 28th birthday.
Now the infield comes in, and Trammell hits one softly over that infield for the 3rd run.
But character was a trait developed in the 1987 season, and Tom Brunansky was a player who epitomized it. His home run put the Twins back in it at 5-4. Gaetti did his thing in the 7th, hitting in the clutch. His single put the Twins up 6-5, but hold your hankies.
Sheridan drives one to deep right.
Pat Sheridan made a short-lived goat out of Jeff Reardon. His upper deck shot won it in the 8th and made Game 4 a pivotal one in the series. Twins manager Tom Kelly gave the game ball this time to Frank Viola, who had just 3 days rest. He'd face Frank Tanana. While Viola kept the Tigers in check, the offense chipped away. Greg Gagne continued his hot hitting with a home run that put the Twins ahead 2-1. But the key hit came in the 6th. Rookie Gene Larkin making his first playoff appearance a memorable one. His pinch hit double scored Gagne, and it was 4-2 Twins. Defense became the key in the bottom of the inning as Twins catcher Tim Loudner made the play of the game, picking off the Tigers' Darrell Evans from 3rd base and killing a Tiger rally. Jeff Reardon came back and did what he does best in the 9th, closed it out and put the Twins up 3-1. Momentum was on the Twins' side in Game 5. The great bats that got them here surfaced again. A 4-0 lead in the 2nd inning seemed too comfortable.
This is well hit. Right field. Might go.
The Tigers battled back and looked like they might make a run when Matt Noak sent a Bert Blyleven pitch into the right field seats to close the gap to 4-3. But the Twins took over with another outburst of offense, and October 12th, 1987 became a big day in the history of baseball in Minnesota. Minnesota Twins fans, you got what you deserved. A champion.
The Minnesota Twins are in the World Series.
And so there it is, 9-5 the final. They are in the series. You know, Tom Kelly said after the game, had we lost this game with me pitching Bert Blyleven on 3 days rest, I would have been criticized. You know, I'd have been one that would have criticized him.
Okay, now explain that. Why would you criticize somebody for pitching
I'll tell you why. I think
big pins like that on 3 days
Well,
rest?
because he's more effective with 4, number one. That's why. And I thought he could have gone with Straker, with Necro, with Atherton for a couple of innings each. Comes back here if he does lose the game after another day off. Comes back then, and he has Blyleven and Viola if needed in Game 7.
At the same time, Necro had a poor performance in his last time out
I don't
in
care,
Kansas
but they can
City.
afford to give this
Straker
game
was hit
away.
all over the place.
May I settle this by
They can
just
afford to
telling
give this
you
game away, is what I'm saying.
that's why he's the manager?
That's why he's the manager. He's making the calls.
Never thought of that.
Hey, see if I've got this right, Ralph. We'll be back in just a moment.
We'll be back. Stay with us. We'll look ahead to the World Series.
It was back in 1965. It was the Twins versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. Sluggers like Killebrew, Allison, and Batty were powerful, but our Twins could not overcome the pitching of Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale for the Dodgers.
A couple of lefties knew how to throw the ball, I would say.
Well, Koufax being a lefty, but I remember Koufax and Drysdale actually lost the first 2 games of that series, and the Dodgers came back with Claude Osteen as the stopper. I remember that in that 3rd game, and then, of course, Koufax won the last game, 2-0.
I told you, I listened to that on WCCO radio. It was great.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you were that old.
The replay.
No, they replayed the game.
Okay, all right.
Ralph!
She isn't that old.
No, she's not. Well, amidst all the celebration tonight, let's not forget the Twins still have to play a tough schedule beginning this weekend. That World Series opens at 7:30 Saturday at the Dome against either St. Louis or San Francisco. Anyone have a pick there?
Go Cardinals.
Game 2 is also at 7:30 at the Dome on Sunday. With a travel day Monday, the series then moves to the National League City Tuesday night. No DH there in the National League City, and Game 4 will be Wednesday night in the National League City. If necessary, a 5th game will be played Thursday, October 22nd, again in the National League City. Then the 6th game, if necessary, back here at the Dome, game time 3 p.m. there Saturday, October 24th. And if the Twins go to 7 games, it'll be on home artificial turf at 7:30 Sunday night, October 25th. So that's the schedule as we see it at the moment.
Maybe we ought to say again, to make it clear, that the designated hitter rule will not be in place when we play
in the National
League parks. But when we come back in here, then our pitchers will not have to hit.
Kind of a strange rule. Hey, I'm not going to believe all the predictions in the paper because nobody was right about this series. They all said that it would be Detroit in 5. I don't think anyone said it would be.
Ralph was right.
Well, I'm talking about the national sports writers.
Well, listen to the local ones from now on, Ellie. You know, wherever Tom Hanneman, our reporter, is, and I think he's headed for St. Louis for that series, he'll be reporting in the Cardinals San Francisco. I have to tell you, Tom, if you're in an accident, make sure you don't get in one, because I talked to his wife, Nancy, tonight, and she said, he's going to St. Louis? She said he left me always 1 pair of underwear. So he did not know he was going to St. Louis. So, Tom, don't get in an accident, okay? And that's going to be about it, I believe.
All right. Pat has a piece of news that's interesting
about
the Twins.
It's been a day for posterity, as we told you all night, for the history books, the record books, for all of Minnesota to finally celebrate. But for Carol and Richard Yokes, tonight is for embracing their very own set of twins. They are Amanda and Branda, a double play weighing more than 6 pounds apiece. The babies were tired after their debut this morning and managed to sleep through the afternoon's excitement, but they will wake up to a reminder of other hometown heroes, and the whole state will remember October 12, 1987, the day the Twins were born and the Twins came into their own.
Touch them all, Amanda and Branda.
Right.
Well, there you go again, Twins.
We'd like to remind you...
when you're not supposed to.
Now stop it. It's time to go. We'd like to remind you that we're going to have special editions of Twin Extra tomorrow morning at 6:30 and 7:30 a.m. if you want to hear more about this historic day. It's a day that the Twins managed to fill the Metrodome without even playing a game there. This is a magic season indeed for Minnesota, and there's no reason to believe the magic won't continue on into the World Series. It all starts over again on Saturday if we can stand it. Go Twins. And good night, everybody.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Our Twins are red hot. Your team ain't doodly spots. Yeah.
Twins 87, bringing home the pennant, has been brought to you in part by Jiffy Lube, home of the 14-point oil change, 11 Twin Cities locations.